In today's video, we're taking a look at the zhiyun Molus X60 light. The reason I'm particularly interested in this light is because it's light, compact, and actually packs a pretty good punch for the size of this thing. If you guys have seen any reviews on this so far, it is a absolutely tiny little machine that is beautifully designed, and it actually works incredibly well. Zhiyun reached out to me and asked if I wanted to partner with them on a video, and I asked them if they could send me this light because it's been really interesting to me. So they have sent me this light to use, but I am under no obligation to say anything kind about it. I'm on no contract and no money has exchanged hands, but I'm going to tell you guys my experience with this light and why I was so intrigued by it. So to start out, something really great about this light as a YouTuber, I'm in my office right now. My camera settings are set to an aperture of f2.8 because I think a lot of people have that kind of lens aperture. My ISO is set to the native ISO of 640 for my camera, and I'm using a shutter angle of 180. Now this light is set to 40% and is currently using battery power. I've been sent the RGB combo kit, which means it comes with a power adapter and a USB. I tend to just use the USB or the battery in my office because I want to be able to move this light around frequently when I'm shooting B-roll or doing interview style stuff like this. So it's really easy to move around. When it comes to the design, they keep it really simple on how to actually use this. There's two dials on here. One of the dials controls the power, ranging from 1% all the way to 100%. And then if you click that dial, you can actually skip from 0 to 50, 50 to 100. And then the other dial will control your color temperatures and some of your menu functions, getting you into some of their other more fun features if that's something you're into. Obviously, there's some power in this being a RGB light as well. You can get a bit more diverse in the color features that you want to use. Paired with the app, getting to those colors is actually really easy to use. The app is really fun, actually connects very well and does everything you would expect it to, giving you access to all your CCT options, color gels, any of your fun features and VFX. And if you have multiple lights, you can actually control multiple lights through that app. I only have the one for now, so I unfortunately can't show you that feature. This particular package, which I would recommend getting the combo pack, runs 450 Canadian, but that's pretty darn good value for something that can be so mobile. And in fact, this week I was hanging out with Subaru Canada shooting a new launch of the 2025 Forester, and I brought this light with me. And I tend to be a very light packer. I only do carry-on, so I was able to take all my camera gear, gimbals, tripods, and a now fill light, but I used it as a key light when I was there. So let's hop over to Vancouver and I can show you some use cases in which I was using this light. Ooh, guys, I am tired. We just got back from Japan. We are already on the road here in Vancouver with Subaru Canada. They're releasing the new Subaru Forester, and I'm going to be capturing some content for them for their event and their socials. But as a part of this, I'm going to be using the new Molus X60 by zhiyun. It's lighting me right now. I think this is one of the most innovative products for lighting in quite some time. So I'm really excited to be testing this out and using it this week. So while I was shooting this event in Vancouver, I was able to use the key light to light up the interior of the vehicles. I used it for a key light on an interview, and then additionally I was trying to use this for some interior fill when I was taking some photos and videos of the vehicle. Now I did think that I was going to have this vehicle into the nighttime, but I do not. So we're going to try and add some fill light into some interior photography so you can see how convenient it is using this tiny fill light. But of course, once you see what we can do with this in the daylight, just imagine how powerful this thing will be in the evening if you guys want to do some nighttime photography or some light painting. We've got the zhiyun Molus X60. Because it's so small, I can actually just clamp it in between the headrest. So it's at 0% right now, and if we turn it up to 50 by just pressing the button, that's what you can see with 50. And then here is 100. And there you go. So you can see that that's doing quite a bit to just add a fill to the car. So I'm going to turn it off now. Off. 100. And it's even like really bright out today. So the fact that this thing can produce actually quite a bit of power, even competing with daylight with a battery. So you can take this thing anywhere, which is pretty crazy. And I have now a softbox on here because they offer you an adapter that you can use to actually use any bones mount for this light as well. They do suggest not maybe putting some big heavy stuff on it, but it's actually pretty cool that you can actually put bones adapters on here, and that makes this a very usable light for any industry that you're in that uses any version of bones mount. So here's another great example of when you could use the Molus X60. We're out here, we're losing light. So maybe we can do a little bit of light painting with this thing. So let's do some exterior shots and then we'll also do some interior shots. All right, truth be told, the mosquitoes are crazy out here. It is just, it's spring right now, so they're all coming out. So we're gonna do some interior photography stat. I don't know if I actually got any light painting stuff, but you can see it's a light. You're outside, controlled environment, you could do some pretty cool stuff. I'm gonna consider these mosquitoes that are literally everywhere not a controlled environment. I hope you can see that. They are so nasty. So really quick, if I was doing this and it wasn't so buggy and mosquito-y, I would definitely have the door open. I'd push this in as nicely as I could to give some nice side light. Another big thing is make sure that you have your steering wheel straight. As you can see in my photos, I did not. Also, the screw that should go here, it fits like so snug when you're unscrewing it. So when I was loosening it to slide it on, I lost the screw. So it's out here somewhere. Haven't been able to find it. Real bummer. Now, if you guys don't know yet, I love you. I love shooting with you. I love teaching you everything I know. Hopefully you guys are finding this educational because I'm gonna lose sleep tonight because I'm gonna be itchy as heck. So just know, I love you guys. I love doing this for you, with you. Leave your comments down below, thoughts, questions. Side note, I also did find the little twisty-yoni thing, thankfully, because that would have sucked to not have that. So let's get home. Because it's so lightweight, you can get this thing out anywhere. It has a really good battery charge. If you're using this at 100%, you get about 50 minutes. But I think if you're using this at 30%, you get over 2 hours of use just on that one battery. So if you consider that and what maybe the use cases would be for a light on the go light, it's a pretty good option. In the past, with other lights that I've used, I've had to actually lug around those big heavy batteries that you can plug stuff into when you're out in the field. But if you know that you're going out and you only need a small fill light, this could be a good option for content creators or people that need a small 60-watt fill light rather than bringing out those big key lights that you might need. The Molus X60 does have a fan built into it, which again is kind of cool considering this is the size of like the palm of my hand. The fact that it has a fan built in is awesome, meaning that it won't overheat on you, hopefully. That would be one of the cons, I guess, of this, is that I can hear the fan right now. I highly doubt you can hear the fan. In fact, you can't, because every time I talk, it overpowers the level of the fan. If you're someone that wants to make sure that you have a perfectly silent light, this may not be for you, but my experience with any of the lights I've used, the fans tend to turn on and you can hear them. So just consider that when you're in productions that you may or may not hear them. And there's a lot of features now in any of your editing software where you can isolate the voice and take away any fan noise anyways, if that becomes an issue for you. Now, I'm not particularly the kind of person that's gonna dive deep into the specs of this and color renditions and all those things. The way that I see it is I can use this light, which I can, and if I think that it looks good, which I think it does, and if it works the way that I need it to work, then I'm going to integrate it into my workflow. And that's particularly the reason that I was interested in the Molus X60, is because it is so mobile, and the fact that I was able to bring it on a shoot already in a different part of the country in my carry-on bag. To me, that's a huge win. It kind of takes away some limitations that lights give you by being big and bulky, but it also obviously gives you some limitations in its small form factor and the battery usage, etc. A big way that I use it in this office on a regular basis is by having it plugged into the USB power source, which allows me to kind of keep it on long term. Now, something to be aware of when you're plugged into different power sources, The battery, you can use up to 100% of the light's power. When I'm plugged into a USB power source, it could be the way that I'm using my wall block charger, but it only gives me 80% of the power source. And you can also plug into some of those mobile battery packs, which allows you to also get more range out of this, but it might also have limitations on how much power you can get out. As always, guys, make sure that you do as much research as you need to do to make sure you feel comfortable making a purchase. Now in 2024, there are so many fantastic options for us as content creators. So make sure to find out what your needs are and then buy something that fits those needs. For me, I was really excited about the options and opportunities with this, to not be tied to any cables, to be able to move this thing around my office and get B-roll really quick, and then be able to take this on a trip as well. That's why I am enjoying this light. But again, do the research, make sure that you guys know what you need, and be thorough. So I hope that you found this educational, entertaining, and helpful. If you found this helpful, do me a favor, click the like down below. Give me a comment of what you like about this light and maybe some other lights that you guys are interested in, and we can have a discussion in the comments below. I do appreciate your time and I appreciate you watching this. If you guys do enjoy this kind of content, hit the subscribe button there. You might enjoy this video here, but I do hope that I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.